asterisks or something in this spelling. Give us a quick moment here. Give us a quick moment. Give us a quick moment. We're gonna get started. Hey, guy, how you doing? God bless. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for stopping in. Big topic tonight on Real Talk. We just have to change the wording on our stream. Hey, Harry, God bless you. Thanks for stopping in. We just have to quickly change the wording. As
It's like a symbol.
Is there a symbol in there?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
not a.
Because on one of our platforms here, it won't allow us to use the word that we're using, so we have to. Okay, we're good. I think. There we go. Yeah, we're good there, good here, good here. Excellent. Sorry about that. Just some technical difficulties there. We had to change the wording on the TikTok platform because it didn't allow us to use the wording for the word porn, and so we had to be a little bit creative. But now we know that for future reference. Good evening. It is 8:09. Apologies, we are running a little bit behind schedule. I'm Ian. This is my lovely wife.
Rachel.
We are Ian and Rachel of Big Family Life in the Simpson Family Home and 4Fs with the Simpson Family. The 4Fs represent faith, family, food, and fitness. Faith, because we believe we can do all things through Him who loves us. Family, because aside from God, there's nothing more important on this earth. Food, because food is medicine. And fitness, because we believe overall wellness can be achieved by pursuing and maintaining a strong mind, soul, and body. It all matters. So we're just over here using the 4S system to manifest our best lives. So this is a segment we like to call Real Talk. If you know us, you know what this is. And, that's a big topic. That's a big topic. That's a huge topic. And I'm not going to back away from it. Hey, Harneil, thanks for stopping in. God bless you. Thanks for the likes, guys. We appreciate you. Hey, TikTok, Twilight, we see you. God bless you. Thank you for stopping in. And we're not gonna shy away from this topic. But I'm gonna get out the way real quick and get my wife.
And it's funny, it's because we're not going to shy away. However, this is something that I don't really even talk about because I'm maybe considered I consider myself somewhat of a prude, or I don't know.
I don't, but
he's more outspoken, more.
I don't consider her a prude.
No, but there's just certain things I've been raised not to talk about.
Right.
So this is kind of just breaking down a little bit of my barriers and I guess go on a learning journey as well because that's all. Go ahead.
No, finish your thought.
No, that's pretty much where it is. Because just looking at, I've been seeing it pop up a lot on social media where people of different faiths, different ethnicities, different belief systems are all saying like it needs to go. And it's a really big topic because I can see it as the view of a woman.
Here we go.
Over sexualized.
Okay, here we go.
Setting expectations on
unrealistic expectations.
Yeah, on how your body is supposed to look.
Here
how
we go.
You're supposed
Go in,
to
baby.
perform,
Go in.
And it just creates an unhealthy mind.
Go in, baby.
And
Go in.
then also it's just that I guess there's putting more room for or even just putting women in danger. Putting women in danger because and I'm going to kind of go into missing and murdered Indigenous women because
go, baby, go
we
in.
are looking at, as Indigenous women, we're viewed as being promiscuous or, easy, which is very untrue because that's a narrative that has been passed down from generation because women were not actually easy. They were basically raped. They were raped, during colonization, through residential schools, through, where we are now in society. So you see an Indigenous woman going by, they think that, they can do what they want to that woman because just based on her ethnicity.
The 97%, I see that trending out there right now. The 97% of women have had have been raped. Maybe not to the extent that you would say but have been sexually assaulted. I think that's what it is in one form or another. 97%.
Yeah, and then you have these women that are in the industry, and you know, basically, I'm not sure if it's their own personal choices. However, it's also, you know, from their traumas that they go into this line of work because, you know, sexually assaulted as a youth, young woman, and it's just because there's that shame, that negative image of themselves, that they go into this line of work because basically it's been taken from them, so they have no feeling as to you know, their actual sexual needs.
And that Harneil said that's real talk right there. Yeah, that's a fact. That's what we do. Thank you. And I mean, now from the male perspective, right? Because I'm obviously a dude, and I mean, okay, so I had been watching porn from about the time I was about 14 years old, right? Okay, a couple years ago, I saw Terry Crews say, like 2-3 years ago, I think it was, I saw Terry Crews was on social media. And if you know anything about Terry Crews, he's from the those movies with Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone there.
I think I know him from like White Chicks.
Right, and he's you know, he does the Wayans, but he's really built guy. What is the name of that Sylvester Stallone movie? Please help me out here, social media, if you can.
I'm sorry, I can't help you.
No, give me a second. It's right there. I want to say Inglourious Basterds, but it's not. That's Brad Pitt. But it's right. It's right there. Please, can you take me out of your basement now? It's cold here. Okay. That movie, Jivvy, the movie with Terry Crews, Sylvester Stallone. You know, they're blowing stuff up, the airplane. What's the Dolph Lundgren, the big guy there from Rocky. Oh, come on, guys. Oh, dang it. Anyways, Terry Crews. If you know anything, he's an actor, very built, very popular, something of a comic. If you know anything about him, have you watched Scarface? Yes, but that's not the movie I'm looking for. If you know anything about him and his personal story, he has a lot of personal trauma. Apparently, the story was that he was abused as a child. I think it was somebody in his family. I won't speculate. I don't know exactly. However, so when he came out and said that, you know, 2-3 years ago on social media, he came out and said that Pornhub specifically, he said Expendables.
I wasn't sure if that was the one. I've actually watched that one, but I don't remember any of it.
That was killing me. Thank you. That was killing, and Jivvy as well. That was killing me. Thank you. The Expendables. Terry Crews from The Expendables. Thank you. That was just killing me. Okay, moving on. So now, when he came out 2-3 years ago, and he specifically went after one platform, which was Pornhub, and he said that Pornhub should be banned. And I mean, at the time, I was still partaking of porn, and my wife, who had never really, right? And I mean, I tried to involve her in that, right? Because it seemed like a good idea, right? I don't do anything without my wife. And then it got to the point where this was the one thing that I was doing without my wife. And please forgive me, it was almost like I was pre-gaming. Please forgive me.
No, and that's basically, you know, you even watch it on movies, and it's always introduced to young men at a younger age.
Yeah.
And it's normalized.
Not just men.
No,
women
young
too.
boys. Women too.
Yeah.
However, it's normalized.
It was.
And then it causes issues down the line. So I just did, you know, quick research, and basically it actually has psychological effects on your brain. So one, your performance is not on par, or your views on women. You can have sexual dysfunction, like within men and women, because you're fantasizing within the relationship when it doesn't even involve the person that you're with.
Right.
And so that open communication between us was really, it needs to be talked about. Because if you don't communicate about it, then it involves or becomes resentment. Then it becomes, you know, the elephant in the room.
Right.
So it's, yeah. Go ahead.
No, and I mean and so Terry said that, and I was like, well, Terry's just on some stuff right now, right? And I mean, however, I'm walking, and it's fair to say that I'm walking a different path now at this juncture in my life than I was 5 years ago. It's fair to say that. And more than anything, it was that disconnect between my wife and I, and she voiced that opinion, and she said that, she felt some kind of way, that it made her feel some kind of way, that I was looking at other women, right? And it's like, the reality is that, how could it not? It's just that it was such a normalized behavior for me. It was something that I've been doing for the better part of my life. Daniel, God bless you. Thanks for stopping in and chiming in. We appreciate it. Daniel says, humans, there are a lot of things that humanity could do without. But would God take away the valley of the shadow of death? I mean, you are so deep, my brother. I mean, if anybody want to sound off on that, I mean, please, by all means. It says that as humans, there are a lot of things that humanity could do without. But would God take away the valley of the shadow of death? For me,
isn't that lust is a sin?
Lust is in fact a sin. Mm-hmm. Lust is in fact that is heavy, Jay. That is heavy, man. Thank you for sounding off on that. God bless you. I see you. Would God take away temptation? Anybody, please. Would God take away temptation? Because to this point, he has not. To this point, I would say that he is not. For me, I would say that, if I may speak so boldly, I would say the second greatest gift, other than the gift of life, other than the breath of life, quite simply, is free will. Now, if you believe in an omnipotent, all-powerful, all-knowing God, then you would accept that at the wave of a hand, God could say, love me, and compel us to love him. I accept that. However, free will, he says, no, come to me or not, of your own volition, as you see fit. So, in my opinion, no, he would not take away the valley of the shadow of death. In my humble opinion. Because free will matters. That self-insecurity on the woman's part. However, can we talk about for a quick second,
I'm trying to read them.
Yin and Yang need to know right from wrong, can't take away. And that's so heavy because, I mean, Jay, that's a fact, because nobody ever really wants to talk about the duality of God, right? Again, if we accept that he's all knowing and all powerful, there must be a level of duality. I'm sorry, my apologies there. There must be a level of duality in that there can be no good without evil, and there can be no evil unless he allowed it.
I think when you're with your question there was a no.
There was a no. Would God take away the shadow? Is that a no to would God take away the shadow of the? Thank you. The valley of the shadow of death. Thank you. If that was my apologies. I kicked the stand here. I didn't mean to. And I agree. I agree with that. Temptation. Good evening, Jimmy. God bless you. Welcome here. He was, and now he's here. Temptation is a part of testing humanity and an individual's spiritual power. Fact. It's on us. It's up to us.
And it's like also, which wolf are you going to feed?
Thank you. Go.
So that's what that temptation is.
Can you please tell the story?
Yeah, it's when you're feeding. It's like you have two wolves inside of you, the right and the wrong.
Right.
So it's up to good and evil.
Yin and yang.
Yeah. So if it's like, which one are you going to feed? Are you going to feed the negative one, or are you going to feed the positive one? And so, with insecurity, I just want to touch on that, because it's not insecurity on my part. I married my husband for a relationship with him. And that relationship I've heard of different ones.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, because a relationship is on a different level. Oh, wow, we're back on.
I mean, it says we didn't skip a beat. I don't know if that's correct or not.
Oh.
Cousin Diane, if you're there, can you let us know? Our brother Daniel, I'm sorry, we had we're back live. So if you're either one of you are still in this room, please let us know. And we're still here, of course, with TikTok and on Instagram. Now, and it's still recording. So the stream was interrupted, but it's back up now.
Okay.
What Cousin Di had said, if I agree, if God could force our yes, then we would not be free. And our soul would have no real meaning. That is so deep. That is so deep. That is so deep. Our soul would, if God were to, and He could, I thank you. He could force our yes. Absolutely. I mean, if you accept that our God is all powerful and omnipotent and outside of time and all these things, and I do. I mean, you have to accept that He could just as easily compel us to love Him, and we would be forced to do so, and we would have no sense of knowing that we were missing our free will, because it would just be so. However, again, as I said, free will is the most important gift other than the breath of life, because it is up to us. And so, I mean, and I would again, when I'm watching, and I'd watched porn from the time, a very long time, the better part of my life, I'd watched. And then my wife, my soulmate, whom I married before God, under God, came to me, and I said to her, in our relationship, communication is everything. And, you know, while laying the groundwork and the foundation for our relationship, we decided that, you know what, communication is so important. If something is, we have to be able to put voice to whatever is bothering us. We have to be able to put voice to that, and we have to create a safe space. Thank you, my love. We have to create a safe space so that we can put voice to those concerns, because if we don't put voice to them, then that's how resentments develop, and that's how resentments build, and we didn't want that, right? So then my wife, my soulmate, my other, the match to my soul, came to me. And she said, quite simply, that this bothered her. That it was between us.
And the thing is, it was that it bothered me. I wasn't like, oh, you gotta stop. Oh, you have to do this. You have to do that. That was his choice. He had to say, look at the bigger picture and see where I was coming from, because we're going to
pause this because this is such a adult conversation. We're going to pause the conversation just for a quick second as the littles come marching through to say their goodnights. This one has already had a big yawn, big old yawn. Oh my goodness, I know. Spring break. Yeah, spring break, they still go to bed at it's only a week. You can't allow them to reset their clock. She beat you, Justice. She beat you, bro. She got the first hug. She got the kisses.
You come up the stairs and peek.
I need a watch.
You need a watch. She got the first hug. Yes, and separate the needs from the wants. Yes. Yeah. She's just a little mini me walking around the home, lecturing her older sibs. Watch out the cords, please, son. Good night, baby. Love you.
What's good about getting first to say goodnight? You get the biggest kiss and the biggest hug.
That's right. Good night. Yeah. All right, go on with your bad self. Good night. Love you. What's your step? Right. So, and I mean, that's what the 8:30 is. The Simpson family home. That's what it is. That's how that go.
I was just gonna check, but I just remembered my phone is there, and I was like, just to check because it has a caution here. I don't know what that means.
Oh, thank you.
Because there's 0 viewers on this one.
We got one. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if we should Attempting to reconnect the log, new
Yeah, I don't know.
notifications. And I think no, I think it's fine. It says
Okay.
it's yeah, I think it's fine.
Quick.
It says yeah, yeah, and once again, we're just allowing the littles to pass through and say their goodnights because this is a very adult conversation. So we're not going to continue it while they're. Good night, baby. Love you. I got that kiss right in my ear. those are my favorite. The ones that go right in the ear.
And then the echo is like.
Echo.
Well, Mercedes, she's on her house.
Oh, thank you.
Can you take her out before you? No.
Fifi will.
Fifi will.
I
Yes.
can take her over.
No, it's late. It's dark already.
Good night.
Good night. Love you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Wait.
Good
Chop,
night.
Chop, chop.
Choppity chop chop. Chop chop. Good night. This guy here, his voice, he went from
Soprano
to Barry White. Just overnight. Good night, my boy. So Justice had was it whose idea was it? No, it was Ryder. Ryder had a fantastic idea that one of these nights over spring break we're gonna do a family game night. We're gonna do a karaoke night. So hopefully you'll be able to join us for that. And Justice, the one that was here, oh, you. And Auntie Di found us on the gram. God bless you. Thank you.
Facebook
Sorry.
shot, she said.
Yeah, sorry about that. It just my fault. My fault. However, thank you for. And I had read your comment, which was, I agree. If God could force our yes, then we would not be free, and our soul would have no meaning. And that is such. Thank you for that. That is such a deep and beautiful. Our soul would have. That is so powerful. That is so. No, our Facebook wasn't shot. What it was that I started streaming without plugging in my laptop. So it's just I took for granted that it was plugged in because my fault. My fault. Apologies. So yeah, where are we in the conversation, my love? The kids are out of the way, and join us for the karaoke. And Justice says as long as he gets to do Rick Astley's "Never Gonna Give You Up," he likes singing that song.
Yeah.
He can hit the notes. So where are we in the conversation, my love?
You got it?
Yeah, it was me.
Okay.
So I mean, then it was that my wife then came to me and said that this thing was in between us. This thing was in between us. Porn was in between us, and I had to think on it. I had to come to a place. And it had to be of my own reckoning. It had to be for me, of me, for me, or else it wouldn't stick. I could, as much as I love her, I couldn't do it for her because that would inadvertently develop resentment. Whether I wanted to or not, it's just human nature.
And also knowing his personality, I just know how he makes his own decisions. So I
My
can't,
process.
Yeah, how he processes and makes his decisions. Is that it has to be on his own terms for it to have a lasting impact, a lasting effect, a lasting commitment. Because I couldn't come and say, hey, no, this needs to stop. Otherwise, yes, it would be.
I would automatically rebel against that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not the boss of me. Just automatic. I would tell me that no, you got to stop. I would automatically rebel against that. However, you allow me to come to that decision on my own. And 9 out of 10 times, I'll do the right thing. Just that one time, I'm sorry, sweetheart. Finish.
No, go ahead. I was just adding that into what you were talking about.
So, and I mean, can we talk about for a quick second, please? Can we talk? This is something that's really bothered me, and I've noticed. I'm a very observant person, and I've watched TV evolve over the years, right? And can we please talk about just for a quick second? Yes, love. You're going to take Mercedes out. Thank you. I'm just going to wait a second here while Okay, can we talk about, just for a quick second, can we talk about the sexualization of violence against women in movies? Can we talk about that for a second? What's that all about? Right? What's that all about? Because, I mean, I used to love these hacker slasher movies when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, Jason, Freddy Krueger.
I didn't watch those.
Yeah, I loved them, right? And then, you know, and so I've been watching TV and I've been watching trends for a really long time, right? And I noticed that, you know, around that time, they started to take, like, I mean, you see Jason coming with the X, you know, Friday the 13th, right? And then you see the female, there's always a buxom female, and her hair is perfectly coiffed, and her makeup is just immaculate, and her jeans are unnecessarily tight, and then she's usually wearing one of those lumber jackets that, you know, they got the button down too far. And I mean, why you're dressed in Daisy Dukes in this situation is beyond me, but sometimes she be wearing some Daisy Dukes, and invariably Jason is coming after her with the axe, and she's running, and the breasts are heaving, and the buns are shaking, and it's just, why has violence against women? Hey, how you doing? We see you. Thank you. God bless you. We appreciate you stopping by. Why has violence against women been so sexualized by Hollywood? Why are you using a face filter? Am I using a face filter?
Oh,
I don't mean to be using a face filter. Thank you. Tell me what you see so I can fix that. We don't mean to be using a face filter. Thank you. What do I look like? Am I messed up?
I don't know what a face filter is.
I don't even know what a face filter is. And how do I turn it off? Oh no. Okay. Oh no. You know what? I'm just gonna.
No, yeah, don't touch buttons until I'll figure
buttons.
it out.
I want to push something.
Baby, don't push it.
Look normal to me. Okay, thank you. Around your face, some background is moving. The future never comes. Hey, God bless you. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, I love your stuff. You're funny. I love your stuff. I noticed that Mamail Hub, excuse me. I noticed that at times when I look at the screen too, I see some distortion around my face from time to time as well. So I don't know what that's all about. However, thanks. Yeah, no, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for stopping in. We appreciate the support. Huh?
Does she go back in?
Well, I need to finish this conversation. So
yeah.
Take her with you downstairs for a bit. Take her downstairs with you for a little bit.
Okay.
Why are you all hanging out in Jasmine's room? Now you're bringing your friends into your sister's room? What?
We were trying to look for Noah. Yeah, we found him in there.
Noah was hanging. Okay, sorry. Okay, so where are we in the conversation? You guys gonna go work out? Okay.
Shiny.
Shiny. I'm so shiny. It's so true. So, my wife came to me and said that, and we were talking on a brief segue about the sexualization of violence against women, and then we wonder why the 97%, right? I mean, we've over sexualized violence against women, but not we necessarily. As a society, we have normalized and sexualized violence against women, and then we turn around and we hear women say 97% of us have been assaulted in one form or another, and some of us say, oh, that can't possibly be true, and the rest of us say, oh my gosh, I wonder why that is. Mm-hmm. Really?
And it's like also like it goes down to the clothing. Because as women, we should be able to go in whatever clothing we feel.
Wear what you want.
Yeah, no matter the short skirt or the, a skirt down to your ankles. There should be, one dress code should not warrant, assault.
Or violence.
And I feel like it's always put on the women.
Right.
It's like, well, you shouldn't have done this, you shouldn't have done that. No, you as the perpetrator should know to hold on to your own urges and make the better choice by not wanting to hurt somebody.
There was a case here in the city in Winnipeg a few years ago. There was a young lady, an Indigenous woman up in Thompson, Manitoba, that was assaulted by some men, and I don't remember the names. And the justice in the case, this was a good decade ago and more. The justice in the case was caught fire because in his official decision, in his written decision, and you read it, basically said that because of the way she was dressed.
I think that all comes down to those patriarchal views that, or the way that we've viewed women. Men have a certain view of women that's been passed down from generation to generation, and as parents now, we have to be very open-minded and say, this is not a good way to raise our sons, not our daughters, our sons, because men.
You know what? Yeah. Okay. I know what I'm saying.
Okay.
Can I jump on it?
Yeah, you can.
Can I jump on
Go
it?
ahead.
Thank you, baby. Yeah, I mean, if I hear one more person tell me, well, you should raise your daughter not to dress a certain way and to act this, how about you raise your son to act right? How about you raise your son to respect women? How about you raise your sons to hear no and know that no mean no, that no don't just mean try harder? How about that? Because as much as it is my responsibility to treat my wife in such a way that my daughters, that I'm setting the bar, as much as that's in my frontal lobe, as much as that's my responsibility to set that standard for my daughters, it is equally, and in my mind, even more important for me to set that same message to my sons and show them how to act like a gentleman. Right? Yeah, I want my daughters to act like ladies. We grown them like that, good, godly, and decent. We grown them to act like ladies. But we also grown our sons to act like gentlemen. Right? And what happened to chivalry? What happened? I saw that. I saw that little bubble around my face. I saw that. No. And you know what? Actually, the onus, it's actually more important that we focus more on retrain. And I don't like that word. Let's not do that. Let's not retrain anybody. Let's educate. Because it's not about retraining, it's about educating, because I think that the males in this world lack certain information. And part of that is because of the porn industry, because we believe, because from watching porn, that every female that look a certain way is ready, willing, and able.
And I think also what it is empathy. There is a lack of empathy in the world, because people aren't able to put themselves in another person's situation and
well said, sweetheart.
And put it through that filter. Is like, would I like that to be done to me?
Said.
Would I like that to be done to my mother, my daughter, my sister? So it's really important that empathy is practiced, and you're teaching your children empathy.
Tony said, I hope it's not too late when they are adults to teach. You know what? It's not too late when they are adults to teach them. I am absolutely committed to the idea that it's never too late to learn. I mean, it actually, I'm a bit of an intellectual snob, because I've come to the realization that there are a great many people in this world that have reached a certain level of success in their life, and they've reached a place in their life where they say that this is all I know, this is all I'll ever know, and I'm okay with that. And it's been good, the world has been good to them. So, they're successful in their lives, and they're living their best lives. God bless them. God bless them. They're living their best lives at that level of existence that they are. They're living their best lives, and God bless them. We have to allow space for them to do that. However, there are those of us that are more connected to the source, that are closer to God, that realize that there are levels to this life. It's like an onion, right? Cousin Di, it's like an onion. You just peel it. There are levels and levels to this. And once you reach a certain level, don't get comfortable. Look for the next level. Get closer to God. Get closer to God. Because the closer you get to God, the sweeter your life is gonna be. That's just my lived life experience. I'm not telling you nothing outside of that. I'm not a prophet. I'm not a well-learned individual. I don't, do this. It's just my lived life experience. I mean, I was in jail in 2015. We 2021 now. That's 6 years ago, and I done turned it all around. I mean, not me, by grace. Not by my might, not by my strength, but by the strength of a living God. So all I have is my testimony. I've been broken for a very long time. But I'm getting it right. How'd I get right? I just get closer to God. That's it. It ain't rocket science, man. I'm sorry if you were tuning in looking for some, deep, universal meaning to life, philosophical explanation for what we're doing in this existential existence. All I got for you is get closer to God. Get closer to God.
And it's also, who are you going to feed? That positive,
which wolf are you going to feed?
Because going back to, even with God is like those commandments. I will not commit adultery. I will, even not to lust after another person, especially if you're in a relationship.
So now how could I be, because if you want to call me anything, and I'm sorry, my baby, if I can jump on that. If you want to call me anything, I don't aspire to religion anymore, just a close and personal relationship with God. I've been hearing more and more of this. That worked for you, then that's wonderful. Closer to God. Yeah, you got to get closer to God. And yes, that worked for me. And I'm only ever going to speak on my lived life experience, right? So now, if I'm a child of God, and I'm trying to live my best life under God, and my wife in good faith comes to me and says, this is between us, I was compelled to at least think on the issue. I was not compelled to change my behavior. We spoke on free will. I was not compelled to change my behavior. I was compelled to honor my wife by hearing what she had to say. And I looked into myself. And she planted the seed. And I looked into myself. And the Holy Spirit did the work. And as I looked into myself, because I spent a lot of time trying to figure out, as an immigrant and now a citizen, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what a black person is supposed to be, a young black man is. I didn't have any role models around me. I didn't have any mentors. I had, cousin Carl, and then, but I was in my trauma, and I was, and I left home, and then I was homeless, and this and that and the other. So I was just running around trying to figure out what this is supposed to look like. What's this supposed to look like, being a young black man inside white supremacy? What is this supposed to look like? Because nobody told me what that's supposed to look like. Nobody had even told me that white supremacy exists. You
just knew something that was happening to
I
you
was
was
an
wrong.
angry black man
you knew
for
something
45
was wrong,
years.
But you didn't know the exact reason why it was wrong.
Right.
I just find it interesting because our 8-year-old was watching this movie, and it was on not on slavery. It was like still
Jim Crow
segregation,
Jim Crow
and
era.
she's 8 years old, and she was mad because she sees Dad, and she sees people that look like Dad being treated a certain way, and she's like 8, and she's like, something is wrong here. And she voiced her opinion. Mm-hmm. And it was just amazing to see that little fire get sparked in her. And she knew already that is wrong. And it's like, if an 8-year-old can see that somebody is not being treated as a human being, how could an adult not even see it? That's ignorance. Sorry, I just wanted to add that because that's what.
And let me jump right on that, because that's the topic. Hey, the dehumanization. I mean, how can you call it anything else? I mean, I don't know if anybody else has watched or watches porn. And if you do, God bless you. This is not judgment. This is not judgment. This is just our platform, our opinion.
Yeah, it's like the dehumanization
of women. Yeah.
And men. Because I even heard or read this article where they were talking about the women were paid more to have,
unprotected.
Film scenes with black men.
Oh, okay.
And right away, again, just based on a person's color, they were given more money because it's viewed as, I don't know. I don't know what however, there should be, yeah, it's just dehumanization. And it's women and men.
I mean, and as well, the unrealistic expectations, the unrealistic expectations from a dude's point of view.
Guess what?
I mean, come on now. Really? No. If that's you, God bless you. Congratulations. Yeah, but that's not me. And the thing is, I want to get back to the idea that, that imagery, what it does is it just gives a sense that any and every woman that look a certain way or dress a certain way is ready, willing, and available to perform in sexual acts, or that this woman it's not even about what is pleasing to her. It's strictly about what is pleasurable and pleasing to me, as you know what I mean. And that's just a dangerous place to be. It's just I just really feel, and please, in a lead up to this the other day, I says, I mean, you can think that I'm whipped if you choose, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. I mean, if that's how you want to view this,
that's
and you think
toxic masculinity.
Yeah, and that's fine.
That opinion.
No, but it's fine. You can have that opinion of me, and that's fine. I accept that. All I'm saying is that's not what this is. This is honest to goodness, my honest opinion. I just think that it does more harm than good for both men and women. Get out the way.
No, and I just to add on to theirs, like that unrealistic expectation is also how your partner should look.
Ooh, there you go.
Not how accepting of that woman is of her own body. Because in the industry, you're looking at these women who are rail thin, unblemished because they have to be, or there's surgical procedures to look a certain way. And so you come in and you're looking at this, and then you go to find your partner and then she's not looking a certain way, so then it's degrading to her. Even though she's comfortable in her own. So it's like setting those unrealistic expectations on your partner. Because if she doesn't look a certain way and you're looking for, that person in that video, whatever, then your eye is wandering on the street to the next person.
The future never comes, says Milo. I agree that it creates an unrealistic expectation for both males and females. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
And,
go ahead, sweetheart.
I know I can't multitask. Once I start talking, I have to continue.
My apologies.
No,
I
it's
usually
okay.
have the notebook out so
Yeah,
that we can jot notes.
No, and I lost that train of thought. Sorry. Go ahead. It'll come to me.
So, and I mean, okay, so you're looking at, and let's jump on the unrealistic expectations for a second. I mean,
I figured it out.
Oh, go.
No, it's like you can look at the menu when you have food at home.
And that was my argument. That was, and I think I might have even said that to her. I might have even said that to her at one point. I says, what does it matter where I get hungry as long as I'm eating at home, right? And yeah, I might have said that to her. And I'm sorry, baby. And yeah. And so, yeah, that wasn't good. That wasn't good. And let me talk to the individual for a moment, very quickly. Let me talk to the individual that is in a relationship and watches adult entertainment because possibly they believe that their partner won't do certain things.
Oh, you had this conversation the other day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like you believe that your partner won't do, like for instance in the movie Club 54 when Lou Diamond Phillips, I think, and he was with Selma Hayek, I think, played his girlfriend, and he was a player, and knock knock. who's there? And okay, and his thing was that he just didn't think that his girlfriend, like I kiss my, you kiss my kids with that mouth, that type of thing. You know what I mean? Spell who? And so, if I could speak to that individual just for a quick second to say that, you do that because you don't think that your partner would be willing to try certain things in the bedroom. WHO. Spell who? WHO. Spell. Knock knock. Who's there? Spell who? WH. I don't get it. I'm trying. I don't get it. I'm sorry.
Okay, now
And
that's
so,
what
where were we?
Go ahead.
Okay, we're talking to spell it. SPEL. Spell who? WHO. WHO. Who? Spell who? Knock knock. Who's there? Spell who? WHO. What am I missing, baby?
I don't.
What am I missing? I spelled it. Knock knock. Who's there? Spell who?
SPELLHO.
Spell
I don't know.
I'm an owl. Who? No, I'm kidding. Okay, so I'm talking to that individual now that might believe that their partner, for whatever reason, won't try certain things. And let's just go out there and say, this is real talk after all. So let's just go out there and say that you don't believe that your partner is necessarily kinky. May I ask, have you had that conversation with your partner? Have you talked to your partner about that? Have you gently inquired? Spell who? So I spelt it. Have you gently inquired of your partner that, if it were possible that we could, maybe try something?
And then it all comes down to communication.
Right, and that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Because I think that sometimes we go to that place where we just automatically assume, oh, no, she's going to say no. And that's an excuse, fellas. That's an excuse. That's an excuse. We use that to justify easier to beg for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission. Right?
Exactly. It is
important.
a very important conversation to have with any potential partner.
Or even not even a potential partner. How about with just a partner that you're with? Even. Yeah, potential partner. If you're brave enough to have that conversation with a potential partner,
if you can't even have that conversation with that person, then that's not even to go forward with any
I'm
kind
there
of
with
potential relationship.
I think we're coming up to cousin Di. We're coming up to the 1 hour mark. I think on Graham there, quick fast. So it'll cut off there. But however, you can jump on if you want to continue the conversation with us on one of the other platforms. We'd love to have you.
I don't know if Facebook is.
No, it's working.
Okay.
It's working. It's up. It's up. It says live right there. So yeah, So I just what I'm really trying to say is that the grass is never greener on the other side of the fence. Tend your own lawn. You may be surprised, or not, what your partner is willing to try. If you are a patient teacher and respectful, right?
And also respectful of their boundaries as
Yeah.
well. Because it's
Safe words are good.
No, and it's
And don't use watermelon or pineapple. Everybody has those.
So it's like okay. Just like wow. So it's like even having respect for their boundaries. If they're uncomfortable with it, you don't push those boundaries.
Don't push.
And it's like, oh well, if you're not gonna do this, then if you're in a
Don't
committed,
give ultimatums.
Yeah, if you're in a committed relationship and they're not ready to go past those boundaries, it's just respecting them. And not using those words like, oh, well, if you love me, then... Because then that's basically rape after that if you're coercing them into going forward into any kind of relation or sexual act, whatever. Yeah. But also, even if they don't, you do respect their boundaries, doesn't mean you have to go out and look for somebody who will... Because either you love that person for who they are on the inside, or are you wanting something for what they can do for you.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate you. She said she tried going back to Facebook and it's not working.
Okay.
So yeah, it's possible that link went down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was just saying that if they're unable to, or not willing to, or not willing to go past that boundary, is that either you're.
We've got some time yet, Di. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. They're not willing to go past that boundary.
Yeah,
either.
if they're not willing to go past that boundary, then basically, you can't just go out of that relationship to go find somebody to do it, because for them, if you do that, you're telling them, "Oh, I don't love you," because you're not doing an act for them.
Right.
So it's basically, it's not their need or their want; it's actually their, yeah.
And I think that that's exactly what the future never comes was getting at, and that's why it would be important to have these conversations with a potential partner.
Well, and that's, even in an era where women didn't even have a voice, now that they do, it's you're never too old to learn, especially if you love that person.
Yeah, and so I don't know that there's much more that we can break down into this issue. It's just, I made that. God changed my heart on that, and all these things have been in my heart from time, and I just maybe it was just simply that I couldn't ignore them anymore. I couldn't ignore the potential harm. I have daughters. I mean, I had sons for the longest time, and now I have daughters. Right? And I remember years and years ago in my young life, I used to move with different people, and, there was a group of guys, and, the thing was that the pimping was the thing back then, And, even back then I was different, because I remember I said and this cat was a big guy. He was pretty heavy in the game, And I asked him, I said, but what if you have daughters one day? I said, what if you have a daughter one day and she end up in this life? And he looked at me and he said, man, if she's supposed to get pimped, then she's supposed to get pimped. And that's it. That's all he had to say. That's not me. That's not my journey. Hey, God bless him. He's on everybody on their own journey. And, my wife this year very patiently taught me that I have to allow a space for people to be on their journey. My right to swing my arms ends at my person or at another's person. So I sit here and, if I want to, as long as it's not negatively impacting anybody else's life, ability to live their life. Right? My right to swing my arms ends at your person. Right? My only thing is that, as long as you're not hurting anybody. Live your life. Be happy as long as you're not hurting anybody. Right?
And everybody has a right to their own opinion.
Yep. And we can agree to disagree and not hate each other.
I always like to say that do the 6 and the 9 with a piece of paper and have 2 people on each side, and one says I see 6 and the other person sees a 9. They're
and
both
you're both right.
So why try and argue over a situation because they're both convicted in their belief and what they see.
So for us, it starts with God. He's the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning, the end, and everything in between. And I could not, in good conscience, while calling myself a child of God, it was my choice. It was my choice. Just like doing this episode was my choice. It was bugging me. It's my choice. Accountability has to matter. Morality has to matter. Being good, godly, and decent and kind has to matter, especially in the place that the world is in today, because we're in a dangerous place. We're in a dangerous place. However, it's okay because God is still in control and we still have our free will. And we can still choose to resonate at a higher level. We can still manifest our best lives. He left us the ability to do that. He left us the ability right here on this earth to manifest our best lives. All we have to do is believe, trust, and obey. God bless you all. We appreciate you for coming in and visiting those that came in and visited. A couple stayed the duration. God bless you. I hope that you got something out of this conversation. I know that it was very enriching and fulfilling for us.
And I still need to figure out that joke. So
which joke, baby? Oh yeah, spell who? Yeah, that's gonna bug me until, and I'll wake up in the middle of the night. I'll be like, oh. And Cousin Di, sorry about what happened on Facebook, because we lost Danielle as well, and that's unfortunate because he was really engaged in the conversation, and so that's unfortunate. I'll have to ensure that doesn't happen again.
And then we got to fix some kind of filter on
the filters over here on TikTok.
What a filter is here.
And we're so for a moment, we'll talk to TikTok. We are so what's the word I'm looking for? Excited to be able to go on TikTok, because I mean the other platforms, you have a camera, you can stream. TikTok make you earn it. You gotta earn it. You gotta get some followers. You gotta put out content. You gotta start it. You have to earn it. TikTok makes you earn it. So we are so excited and we are so proud of our little platform here, because we hit that magic number. We hit that magic number of 1,000 followers, and so we're streaming live on TikTok. And the energy, if you haven't been on TikTok, check it out. The energy over there is it's exciting. The energy over there is a little bit different than the other platforms, which is not to say that we don't appreciate our other platforms equally. But we're particularly proud of being on TikTok because we had to earn that. So I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to say God bless you. I'm going to get out the way and let my wife get a chance to say the final word.
Oh, yeah. And come back tomorrow night at 8. I'm not sure what the topic is. I'm kind of looking at, I seen an article on Justice Murray Sinclair and how he's being blamed for the government, which is very interesting when it comes to residential schools. Accountability sucks for the government. So
government's position is kind of like, how dare he make us feel bad for what we did to indigenous peoples. I mean, we're giving him the money. Isn't that enough? How dare he make us feel bad?
So that's been on my heart. So I'm thinking maybe either by Wednesday or something, just to I got to do a little bit more digging and maybe go forward with that. However, look out for our little what do you call them?
Oh, our morning workouts.
No, your introduction to what the actual.
Oh, what the real talk, the segue into the real talk. We usually post something over the course of the afternoon, telling you what the real talk topic will be that evening. So look out for that.
Yeah, but it's bedtime. So. And
also our morning workouts with the littles. Spring break, 9:00 every morning. We Central Standard Time will have the littles in front of the camera, and we'll be doing our morning workout. So please, I'll stop by another family talk time. Excellent.
Awesome.
Thank you so very much. We appreciate the support.